Hello and welcome to my Zenless Zone 0 Deadly Assault for February 7th cycle. I'll be looking over this cycle's buffs and leaving my impressions and suggestions. Of course, you can skip straight to the gameplay from the timestamps. Taking a look at the buffs, they don't seem to be explicitly catered towards anomaly comps as we have seen before, but instead offer incentives for focusing on quick assists, chain attacks, or perfect dodges and parries. Though the blessing with energy regen is probably your best bet if your account is heavily invested towards anomaly units. The first boss is the Notorious Dead End Butcher, which takes increased damage from attribute anomaly. However, it also has passive damage and daze reduction, which can be removed by triggering Disorder. Dodging its attacks grants extra points to your final score. To counter this, you'll want anomaly agents that trigger Disorder quickly. MIYABI and YANAGI are the best picks, as MIYABI naturally synergizes with Disorder, while YANAGI enables it on demand. You could experiment with Piper for her fast assault application and team-wide buff, but since dodging isn't part of her playstyle, you'd probably miss out on the extra score. Grace is likely the better choice in that case. For the Butcher, I will be using a MIYABI and BURNICE Disorder team. My MIYABI is well invested, and I decided to overlevel her basic attack. As this is a 9-star clear of Deadly Assault, I will be using her signature engine. My Bernice is much more free to play in comparison, and not as heavily invested, as I only built her up to the point of feeling she was usable. SOUKAKU is mostly here as a filler, and she's built as a DPS support hybrid. She synergizes with MIYABI not only because of her buffs and freezes, but also because her damage timing coincides well with MIYABI's charge attack. The battle with this particular team is a game of resource management, as you have Bernice's fuel, MIYABI's stacks, SOUKAKU's stacks, and the Butcher's anomaly application. You should aim to proc Frostburn and then refresh its cooldown with another anomaly. After the first Disorder, the Butcher loses its buffed state, and it won't use certain troublesome attacks. If you manage the resources successfully, you should be stun-locked most of the time, making it an easy fight. I barely dodged and still got the 20k points. Don't forget that Freezing and Frostburn are two separate anomalies, meaning that you can use Freeze to refresh Frost's cooldown. The best time to use SOUKAKU's ultimate is during MIYABI's charge attack, as it's more efficient in terms of time. I also used it during a stun window for the extra damage. Next up is the autonomous assault unit, whose mechanic revolves around pairing his 3-hit attack. Each successful block fills up the mech's daze bar and also increases the damage it takes from chain attacks and ultimates. If you block all 3, your score is also increased. While on paper it sounds simple, block, daze, and then burst during the stun, I found that this boss is the toughest of the cycle, as its blockable attack only seems to cup up to 3 times at most. An important change from past versions is that assist points are no longer consumed, meaning that you're no longer forced to run a defender or SOUKAKU. Any unit with a defensive assist will do. Qingyi is practically made for this phase, not just for her electric coverage, but also because the boss plays directly into her daze multiplier amp. Otherwise, a mono-electric team with Yanagi works fairly well because the boss is a mech. I also suggest Caesar, as she's a strong unit overall and her preferred 4-piece relic set complements defensive assist playstyle. As I am not a Qingyi owner, I choose to bring my mono-electric Yanagi team to deal with the mech. My Yanagi is built with an emphasis on penetration. Besides giving her a unique touch, she is able to get more through one of her stance buffs and through RINA. My SETH needs work done, but I still choose him for his defensive assist and anomaly proficiency buff. If I can keep the shield up, the shield size shouldn't matter. RINA is also not fully built, but as she stands, she's buffing Yanagi with 25% ratio roughly, so that she can do the heavy lifting in terms of damage. For this battle, I want Yanagi to be on field as much as possible, as she's the one that has the highest anomaly proficiency and thus should contribute as much as possible towards shock. Make sure to only block with SETH or Yanagi, as RINA's defensive assist makes her dodge and not impair the mech for daze and points. As you can see here, shocking the mech staggers him and also resets his behavior, which can be detrimental to your score. In my case, the mech staggered before the 3rd hit could be blocked, so I lost points, daze, and damage increase. When the mech becomes stunned, this is your cue to try and dish as much damage as possible.
Seems my work isn't finished.
Finally, we have the Notorious Marionette, whose mechanics revolve around quickly destroying its clones. Each defeated clone grants a team-wide buff to ice and electric damage, along with performance points. AoE damage and interruption resistance are key here, and Ellen excels thanks to her X skill's instant AoE sweep, proving she still holds up despite the power creep rumors. Harumasa is another solid choice, as his melee mode offers both AoE and interruption resistance. And of course, Astra Yao shouldn't be overlooked, as her quick assists provide invincibility frames against the Marionette's relentless attacks, while also delivering a short burst that helps clear the clones. I'll be bringing Ellen Joe on a team with LYCAON and Astra Yao. While the latter two aren't perfect just yet, they don't need much investment to support Ellen with buffs, daze, and Ice Res Shred. Notably, I did overlevel LYCAON's basic attack and Astra Yao's skill, but it's definitely not something that's necessary. I decided to use SOUKAKU's signature engine on Astra Yao as I felt she needed the extra attack at this point, but I'm pretty sure that when you do the math, Kaboom the Cannon is better. After recovering from a stun, the Marionette always follows up with an attack that launches a bunch of clones towards you. My Ellen can dispatch each clone in one dodge counter, so this is my chance to rack up points and buff stacks. Here, I did not activate LYCAON's switch in and instead choose to wait and use him in a parry, because this way I can switch into Ellen and have her do a second chain attack off of Astra Yao's ultimate. That's an Astra attack you should remember. Here, the dodge counters against the clones were much cleaner. And with this, I hope you enjoyed the showcase. The final scores of each team are shown here. Even if you only got 6 stars, know that it's perfectly fine since you got all of the polychrome rewards. As usual, if you have any questions on how I build my characters, do leave a comment in the video. Also, do share your impressions and strategies when clearing Deadly Assault. If you're a Chingy haver, do tell me how easier it makes the mech fight. Thank you for watching and like if you enjoyed the video. Goodbye!